Hello, my friends. This is the podcast that brings the wealth of knowledge, expertise, and fun of Twin Smoke Shop, New England's premier smoke shop, right to you, wherever you are, whenever you want it. And that's not just blowing smoke. You can find us at our website, notjustblowingsmoke.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Not Just Blowing Smoke.
Cool breeze in my head, bittersweet smoke flying through the air. It's the way I feel, smoking on a fat cigar.
All right, everybody, that was Jeff Pitchell's Fat Cigar you were listening to, and that means it's time for another exciting episode of Not Just Blowing Smoke, coming at you live from Twin Smoke Shop Studio headquarters here in Londonderry, New Hampshire, right in the 724 Lounge. I'm Pastor Padron. We've got our co-host. Yeah, hi, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Pastor.
Bless you, son.
Bless you.
Mm-hmm.
But
We've
I
got
didn't
Nick
sneeze.
O'Teen, we've got David
Nick O'Teen.
Confused, and we have two great guests with us today. We have Dan Leaonard from the 603 Brewing Company.
603.
And we have Pat Wente,
Esquire.
Esquire.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Pat Wente,
and
Esquire.
Not Just Blowing Smoke alum Pat back with us. And you guys are back because we kind of did something really special. You guys want to talk about it?
Yeah, we designed a beer for smoking cigars.
Yeah, baby.
So this
That must have been a
was,
lot of hard, torturous work.
we put the time in, we put the hours in, we really put the effort in.
Mm-hmm.
Got to give credit to Pat. He really spearheaded the project and the concept of the project, and really helped us kind of do the whole R&D process. So what we did is, I brought in
Drank a lot of beer and smoked a lot of
my
cigars.
brew team.
My goodness.
Yeah, we had a couple sessions where I brought in
so much hard work.
my
there.
brew team with a bunch of different styles and types of beers, and not just stuff that we make, but all stuff from all over the world type deal. And we were picking out kind of what aspects of those cigars and flavor profiles and things like that we enjoyed. And then with that, Pat was grabbing a bunch of different cigars, and we were trying those with different tobacco blends to see kind of which ones matched up. But Pat, when you talk a little bit about our R&D process and what you thought of it.
Yeah, and were you sober through it?
Just
Probably.
one more sample. wasn't it?
Maybe not at the end of it, but
It was an interesting project because, it's I don't know anything about brewing beer, and then Doug and Kenny don't know anything about smoking cigars. So, Dan was like that kind of center conduit who has a passion of both. So he kind of helped make that happen because
He was kind of the translator.
yeah. So it was interesting because, it was, for one, Doug and Kenny are just absolutely amazing at what they do.
Yeah,
It's so easy to work with them, even though they don't know your side of things, because they have so much knowledge and beers and different profiles and different origins of hops, and it's so easy to work with them when you give them any feedback on what you're looking for. And it was interesting because they don't smoke cigars, and they didn't actually smoke. I think they might have taken a couple of draws off of yours, possibly.
yeah, they tried a couple draws and a couple puffs.
And it was really
That is unacceptable.
Did they cough? Were they, they turned green.
Well, they don't
chugging
smoke
down a
cigars.
gallon of beer.
yeah, they're not cigar guys.
They're not cigar guys.
Which was fine. It's
Yeah.
we sat there, and I guess the starting point for it was just kind of limiting what we could do to something that we can work with, because there's so many different options of beer you can do, like those
Sure.
IPAs, so since we were doing more of a fuller bodied Maduro type cigar, like what we're smoking tonight, which I'm sure we'll talk about shortly. So a lot of it was starting off with stuff that we can relate to, which is like the mouthfeel, the finish, like if it's going to be clean, like the body of it. So we started off there, and I, talked about kind of how like the cigar is on your palate, like the different kind of finishes, like the spicy, the savories. And then they took that information and brought out different beers. We started off at 603, and they brought out stuff that they brew domestically there. And we started tasting that and kind of going through how without a cigar, and just how it felt on the palate. And then with that information, we went to Twins one day, and then they brought stuff that was not just domestic and just other beers offered through, different, countries and distributors. And then we
We
had,
just drank and
Yeah.
smoked at Twins all day.
and then we had that while actually smoking a cigar sample, and we really saw like which type of style would go well with a Maduro, and then we then took that information and had added stuff to it. Like I think that was the first time 603 did chilies inside.
Yeah, so we went a little crazy with it, right?
Yeah.
We figured we'd have some fun with this. So we we tried to figure what we wanted the beer to be. Like Pat said, we didn't want a thin beer, right? Because you want to be able to hold up to that tobacco and the smoke. So
Want something with a finish. Yeah.
we did something more kind of medium body. It's a little more viscous, and
Protein.
we didn't want to just like use smoked malts and mimic smoke. That's just smoke on top of smoke. That doesn't pair. So what we did is we went more of a sweeter. It's a Doppelbock, which is a European style of beer.
Ooh,
and
bless you.
this one's going to clock in at 7 1/4. But then we added some really fun stuff to it. Once the base beer was brewed, to try to pull out some real interesting notes, and we did some whole bunch of different types of chilies, so we can actually provide a little heat. Because when you're smoking cigars, you got kind of a little bit that heat and burn in your mouth, and the sweetness of the beer is balanced out nice by that heat. And we got some in front of us right now. If you'd like to take a sip.
Yeah.
I thought you would never ask.
So cheers.
Yes.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
Okay. Yeah.
What?
So one of the thoughts with this beer was I was thinking of it being kind of like a primer. So on its own, drinking the beer, I wanted people who don't smoke cigars to still be able to enjoy it, which,
That's pretty pleasant, huh?
again, the guys at 603
pretty
don't make a
different.
bad
That's
beer,
what it is.
so
Look at
it's
different.
going to be there. But I looked at it as a primer, so like that, the chili pepper idea was so you can start kind of activating your palate of like those like sensories by getting that spice, like that sensation. And then that in turn would open up your oral cavities and nasal. So when you draw from the cigar, it's going to be a lot more brought to life. And then because of the sweetness in the beer, it's a clean finish on your palate. So you don't get like a really, really long lingering finish from the beer, even though it's, fairly heavy. Well, it's not the heaviest thing. It's not like a Mitts, but it's, right in the, like a little bit above the medium range for alcohol
it's a
volume.
medium body. So the alcohol is 7.24%.
Ooh.
Get it?
I
Get
like
it?
I like it. Oh.
Brought everyone along with us.
Yes.
I'll give you the red description here. Lounge Cruiser is the name of the beer.
Excellent.
Lounge Cruiser's Doppelbock, a rich and complex beer. The dark lager's rich cocoa nibs impart a delightful chocolate undertone, while its cinnamon and cumin add a gentle warmth and depth to the flavor profile. Almond extract provides a subtle nutty sweetness that balances the brew's richness. As you savor each sip, the dried chili peppers, which are ancho, papaya, guajillo, and morita, gradually reveal their presence, infusing the beer gently with smoke and heat that builds but never overwhelms. So what we did is we brewed this beer, and then we added sesame to it, coriander, cocoa nibs, cinnamon, cumin, some almond extract, and several dried chilies. Let that sit on the finished beer for about a week and a half. And this is a lager, so this took about 6 to 7 weeks just to ferment naturally.
Okay.
And then it sat on there. So this is about an 8 to 9 week beer, I think, grain to glass. And Pat actually came in and brewed the batch
Oh,
with
wow.
the boys. So,
Really?
yeah, we did it on our little system, so it's extremely manual. You do everything from cracking all the grains, and, weighing everything out, and stirring with mash paddles over open fire, and doing the whole
shit.
deal. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Jeez.
Pat, he got the true beer making experience there.
Oh, right.
Got a lot of forearm workout doing that.
Yeah, it's a labor intensive ordeal. But yeah, really enjoy the beer. Super excited the way it came out. If a beer like this goes wrong, it can taste kind of like overly sweet and bubblegummy, and you don't really get those nice flavors of kind of that almond and cinnamon and
No, I
those
get
chilies
the
in there.
I get the almond and I get the chocolate
Yeah.
on the finish, and now those chilies are coming into play
And
right now.
The heat just kind of comes into the back.
Yeah,
after
it's like
you've
the back of your
taken your
throat.
sip.
It's just kind of
Yep.
lingering there a little bit.
But if you do a retro like before you take a sip,
Yeah.
and then take a sip and then do a retro again, it just completely like opens up the cigar. And
I'm
like
gonna try that right now.
it really like, because everyone knows I like the spice in the cigar too, so
Of
it enhances the spice in the retro for me, which is something that I was hopeful for when we started doing this, and it is exactly what was intended. It's phenomenally done.
I feel like it smooths the cigar out.
Big
too.
time.
You know, that sweetness that gets left on the palate.
Oh,
Really
wow,
comes
yeah.
out.
Wow, it does.
It just opens up.
Totally
opens up your
does.
nasals.
Now,
Oh, you get the chili in the nasals, man.
Yeah.
for
Hold
those
on,
of
I'm
you who
getting
may
it
be
right now.
curious about what we're smoking, we are smoking the 724, which happens to also represent the ABV of what we're drinking. The 724 Original Series Churchill. It features a Brazilian Modafina wrapper, Mexican San Andreas binder, and then fillers from the Dominican and Nicaragua. How do you guys think it's going with the beer? I'm thinking that what you just said totally happens. The
Yes.
spice, well, the
Yup.
retro,
The Brazilian
totally it totally increases after a sip of the beer.
Yeah, for sure.
The Brazilian Matafina, it has one of the characteristics of it is you get like the subtle sweetness and like the like pepper, and that spice in the drink. They just like shake hands and arm wrestle in your nasal passages. It's
Just like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers,
Rest in
Predator.
peace, Carl Weathers. Yep.
Yes, rest in peace.
Oh, he's dead.
Yep. That's.
I know it's a true fact, but Dan, you don't have to say it like
Drive
that.
it home, Dan.
Jesus, come on.
He's dead now.
They did a nice commercial for him, a little tribute on
Yeah,
the
that
Super
was
Bowl
beautiful,
commercials.
yeah.
Did
That was-
they?
Yep.
They did. It was very very
Schwarzenegger
good.
had his commercial. That was awesome.
The State
Allstate.
Farm one.
State Farm,
State
yeah.
Farm.
He
State
did a
Farm.
State Farm commercial.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. He's like, "Your neighbor is there," and they're like, "It's neighbor." He's like, "That's what I said, neighbor." And it just went through like this whole thing of like him like saying R words, and they kept like giving up. It was hilarious. It was awesome. It's one of the best commercials of the Super Bowl.
Now, I didn't catch the Super Bowl at all. I was having toilet problems at the house. But was there any? We'll talk about that in a little bit.
There was a streaker.
Couple of them.
Did you?
I only seen. Oh,
Did
well,
you
not
guys?
seen, but I only heard one.
A, did you watch the game? B, did you see commercial? Half the reason people watch the Super Bowl is
it's for the
game,
commercials.
and then the other half is for the commercials. Were there any worthwhile things that you saw?
Well, I
game wise
watched
or
it-
commercial wise?
Game wise, it was wonderful because Mahomes got sacked like 20 times. It was
That's
beautiful.
not true at all. But
And, yeah,
go
he
ahead.
he did. He got
Not
sacked.
20 times.
No, it was more like freaking 12 or something like that. He got sacked a lot, more than he usually does. He
Still
got,
won.
He
Yeah,
got,
Yeah,
he, got-
still won.
he still won, but that's whatever. I hate
Yeah.
him. So, anyways,
Second half of the game
You're
was
not a
very
Chiefs
good.
fan, Dave?
huh?
You're not a Chiefs fan?
I'm not a Swift fan, no.
To each their own.
Okay.
Same reason, exactly the same reason why nobody's a Patriots fan when Tom Brady was there. Same reason.
I mean, I was a
I have
fan.
absolutely no reason to hate
I would-
Mahomes.
I
I
was-
just do.
I was a fan when Brady went to Tampa. Brady's the greatest quarterback to ever touch a pigskin.
And also had the best commercial.
Oh, the Dunkin' Donuts.
The Dunkin' Donuts.
Dude.
Oh my God.
Oh,
the Dun
man.
Kings. Come on.
The Dun Kings.
The Dun Kings.
Matt
Dun Kings.
Damon.
Unbelievable.
Come on.
That was awesome.
Tom Brady on the ones and twos, baby. Come
Oh,
on.
what about the Brady one with the betting app?
I didn't see that one.
Oh, so there was a betting app one. It was like DraftKings or one
Oh,
of those.
everyone can bet
Yeah,
except Tom
and
Brady.
everybody can bet except Tom Brady. And then it's like everybody can bet. Can I bet? I taught him when he was a little kid. Yes, you can do it. And he's like, why not me? He's like, you won too much already.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. My
Oh,
God.
that's funny.
Yeah.
No, the Dun Kings were pretty great.
Yeah,
That was a good one. I think.
hilarious.
Well, they ran the trailer for Deadpool 3. So that
When?
was.
I
When?
watched the entire game, and I was looking for them to do something
They
with
did.
Deadpool.
They did. They ran it. I think it was in the I think it was in the beginning of it. But they did, and they ran it, and it was I mean,
I saw it online this morning. didn't
I
see
saw
in
it
the
online
game,
this
but
morning
I
too.
saw it
Yeah.
online.
I saw it and I was excited about it because they incorporated the TVA, which was interesting how they're going with that. But then like they didn't show Wolverine until the end, and it wasn't like it was only his shadow.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, we get it. Everybody knows that Hugh Jackman is reprising his role.
Yeah.
But damn, I wanted to actually see him in the trailer.
Yeah, they're totally teasing.
They're
It's
totally-
a
But-
teaser for something. You know?
But I mean, there's always 2 or 3 trailers that are gonna come out.
Yeah.
So the movie doesn't come out until July. So I mean,
Yeah, you got plenty of time.
You got
I'm
plenty
happy.
of time.
I was really
I'm
happy
very
with
happy.
the trailer because it wasn't spoily.
true.
It was
Right.
done with taste.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
And it made some Disney cracks,
Yep.
which was great.
That was so great. Yeah, I'm not begging like Disney. I'm like, yes, yes. Oh God, that was so nice. It was so nice. I guess that was the controversy with the whole making the movie, or why there was problems with what was written, and I guess that was
No,
part
because
of it.
Disney
yeah.
was not comfortable with
They
the-
were
with the
not
material.
comfortable with that. No,
Yeah, I could see that.
but come on, man.
Can't mess with the fourth wall breaker. You're gonna have-
Oh God, yeah.
It's like a South Park movie. You just can't complain about what they say. It is. They rag on everybody
They're gonna
equally,
get
and
ya.
so does Deadpool. It's not like he was focused on them or anything.
Oh yeah.
Most great trailer though. Yep.
It was good. I saw it just before the show, and very entertaining. I'm very excited about that.
I will say my other favorite trailer. I think they came out last week. Was that the Roadhouse? Oh, that new Roadhouse movie looks pretty
man.
good with Gyllenhaal and
Yeah, Hugh McGregor.
and McGregor.
McGregor's gonna be in it. I was like, wow, I guess he's beefing up for that movie then.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I saw the trailer maybe a couple weeks ago, and then I went and watched the actual movie with Swayze and who's the
yeah.
other guy?
Yeah,
I forgot the other guy's name.
Swayze and the other guy.
Damn.
yeah. He's been around forever too.
Oh, Sam, was it Sam something? Long gray haired dude.
yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
Fantastic guy.
But that guy, and man, is that movie aged well. I mean, it has. I mean, granted, it was made in what,
80s,
80s,
probably?
late
80s, I think.
80s,
Yep.
and oh god, just a classic, just a classic. The fight scenes, everything, just classic. And of course, Swayze's just
Swayze can throw a kick.
Swayze can throw a kick, baby. Absolutely.
Pat,
Man.
you never saw the original one, I'm guessing. No.
No,
Everyone I've talked to under the age of 35 is like, I have no idea what this is.
dude, that was like a staple.
Oh, I saw
I
that.
mean-
There's a new Twister movie too. Did
Oh
you
yeah.
know that?
Oh
Twister 2, yep.
man,
No, not Twister 2.
It's
no,
just
I'm sorry.
Twisters.
It's just
It's
Twisters.
It looks like they just
Twisters.
remade the exact same movie.
Almost.
How do you
It's
make
Twister.
it different?
Yeah.
I mean, without it's just it's probably going to be good.
Well, how do you make it without Bill Paxton? I mean,
Oh,
Bill
yeah,
Paxton
okay.
is dead, but
That's how you make it without him.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I hope Helen Hunt is in it because I
Wait,
mean,
Bill Paxton's dead too?
what?
Wasn't aware of that.
Are you shitting me,
No,
dude? He died like 10 years ago.
that sucks.
Yeah, it does. I mean, like he was on the last.
Dealing with Carl Weathers, and now you tell me Bill
I'm
Paxton's
sorry,
dead?
dude. Yeah, he died. I mean, the last show that he was on, what was it, like a detective show that he was on, and
Yeah, it's
He only
probably a
recorded-
CSI or something like that.
no, it wasn't like CSI. It was like more like almost like True Detective type of deal. But
Okay.
it was, he only recorded like 4 or 5 episodes, and then, I think it was cancer that took him.
Just losing national treasures left and right.
Bill Paxton. Then after that, I remember going back. As soon as I heard that he died, I went back and watched Aliens 2 or Aliens, and I was like, yeah. And then Predator 2, and I'm like, yes. Oh
Weird
yeah.
Science.
Good filmography.
Weird Science. Yep. And then he was in Terminator 1.
Yep. Really? Yep.
He was in Terminator 1. He's the guy
He
with
was
the mohawk.
He was the punk.
Oh,
Yeah, he was the guy with the mohawk.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was the guy with the mohawk.
Oh my gosh, that's never would have guessed.
Where was that? Was that in the biker bar at the beginning?
No.
Or?
The first Terminator when the kids were like at the
They were at
looking
like the train station or
telescope
something.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Want to close your booth?
Well, that
Well, that was the second one.
was the second one. Yeah, that was the second one.
But
Oh, yeah.
still a decent impression, Dave.
No.
It was, yeah.
No.
It's getting better as the shows go on.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna need a refill in like 10 seconds.
Calm down.
I am. This is me calming down.
No.
More to come. Don't worry.
Yeah, there is more to come. We don't have to worry about that.
That's what she said.
Oh, well, I would
So
have to say,
how are you guys? Are you happy with how this turned out? Do you, or do you already have plans for a follow up to this, a sequel or something? I mean, what has this done?
I'll be honest. I have waited to actually drink this beer and smoke a cigar together until just right now. And
Aw.
I'm
Special.
pretty damn thrilled. And I think I'll pat us on the back. I think we did a good job here, Pat.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
this is good. This is good. It's exclusively on tap at the
603.
Twins Lounge,
Twins Lounge.
and we kept one keg of it, and we gave we brought the rest over here. So it'll probably hopefully through February we'll have enough to stay on. A couple
Nice.
kegs.
Nice.
Cool.
But yeah, I encourage people to come down and actually see what a beer pairing with a cigar is, really meant to be.
Now,
'Cause, when I usually come on here, we talk about all, we've tried all sorts of different pairings, and it's fun. But yeah, I'd say this by far is the best pairing cigar beer I've ever had.
Yeah, this is, you get that, there's a sweet finish, sweet,
Yeah.
chocolatey, vanilla-y
Yep.
finish to it, and then the heat with the peppers, and, man,
Just
it's
that kind of the savoriness you get from the cumin and the cinnamon in there. And
it's
just
really, really nice.
that's that little bite and burn. I
Well-
really like the heat finish from the.
Yeah.
So Pat was adamant about the chilies.
Why were you adamant about the chilies, Pat?
Yeah, why?
It's kind of weird. I mean, I don't.
He texted me like every 3 days to make sure the chilies were going in, and
That
he's
sounds
all right,
like
we
Pat,
got to
yeah.
put the chilies, and we put 4 types of chilies in. And I
What
was a
made
little,
you pick 4
I was a little
types of
nervous about
chilies?
it, but damn, it works. It works great.
It works very
It
well.
really works great. Why
Why-
were you so locked in on the
Why
chilies?
4 different kinds of chilies, and what were you looking from each of those chilies to put in there?
So it's just one of the, I think it was at the time, and we were eating it during it. Is like that was when we had the ghost pepper chocolate downstairs, and I found that when I
Oh,
ate,
that's right. We did eat some of that
Yeah.
when we were doing the tasting.
I found when I ate that, like the spice in it helped bring the cigars out, and then having that chocolate sweetness following it would also enhance the cigar. So that was kind of a building block that we had for the idea on what the beer should kind of symbolize. And I don't know, just I've noticed that, like I said in the beginning, it's kind of like a primer for a draw from the cigar. So I think having a well-balanced heat in something and then having it be clean on the finish enables you to get more out of the cigar. Again, like it engages your sensories because it has like that that kind of stimulation on the palate. So it just helps you kind of open up and prime the palate to draw from the cigar. So
yeah,
that,
you never really get the back of your palate like that on a beer, but this like you said, that it activates that. Yeah, that's a good call. I forgot we had done the ghost pepper chocolates, and that's kind of where that whole concept started. And the neat thing too is like you're not thinking you're gonna experience any heat. You're drinking a cold beer. The last thing
comes
the
right at
last
the
thing your
end.
brain is thinking like, oh, there's gonna be some heat here, but no, you get that. And it's that spice heat. It's not just.
But
No, it's that pepper heat.
It's not like
Very subtle, but
It's
it's
not
very
hot.
obvious. Yeah.
it's not unpleasant at all. It's
Right.
not like
Warm.
it's warm. You can feel it really opening up your palate.
I had it during the game yesterday, and I was just sipping on it because to me it's a sipping beer, but it's very drinkable too, which is dangerous.
Trust me, I know.
But it's as it warmed up too, it got better too. Like it's one of those beers that
Yeah, this is one of those beers that just because of kind of the body to it and the kind of that malt character, that the more it warms up, you're definitely going to get more and kind of evolving flavors out of it.
It'd be interesting to warm this up. Well, obviously, like it's been, for you guys, it's been sitting, but I mean, like at solid room temperature to serve it like that to see what kind of characteristics come through on that beer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, having it cold is unbelievably
Yeah, I
24.
I think around
It's really refreshing.
around 55, 60 degrees, you'll probably get some pretty different flavors out of there.
That'd be so interesting to do that and just kind of let it sit.
Now, why double buck?
Yeah,
That
why
just
not?
kind of lent itself to, I guess, the flavor profiles we were looking for.
What about that?
So
explain what that kind of
yeah,
beer is.
so kind of some of the key components of what that beer is we wanted
It's got 2 bucks.
malt sweetness. Well, it's a box style, but it's you
Not
get the
3
you get the
bucks.
double from the alcohol. So the higher alcohol, then it becomes a double. And so we get a malt sweetness from it, but then also making it a lager and not an ale
Okay.
means it slow ferments and it just cleans out a lot more. So you get a very clean beer, clean tasting beer, but then you also get the sweetness. This would honestly taste completely different if we used an ale yeast as opposed to a lager yeast. So using the lager yeast was very intentional to make sure that we got a clean finish, but still a medium body. You get the sweetness to carry all those extra flavors that we then incorporated into it. So yeah, that was the process. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I'd say we'll definitely be doing a follow up. I think maybe some kind of summer beer variant that would go with some summer smokes would probably be the next challenge for us to
Some
figure
nice
out.
Corojos or
Yep.
some Connecticut's or maybe even some Cameroons.
Yeah, I think that would be fun because that will even be more of a challenge, right? Because you're trying to use some lighter flavors to balance some of those lighter tobaccos. So that'll probably be our next challenge once Pat's school slows down. Can't pull him away from his studies too much.
No, you're very busy with that, Pat. What's going on with that right now? What's the game plan for the next few months?
So I'm in a class called Comparison right now. So that's
what?
It's called Comparison.
Oh,
So it's prepping you for the MBE portion of the bar exam, which is the 200-hour, 300-question, 3-hour sessions you take for the first day of the bar exam. So each 2 weeks, we focus on one of the 7 topics you get tested on, and you take a test at the end of the 2-week period. You have to score a certain percentage on to advance from the class to graduate. So that's been what's taken up most of my time because you have 2 weeks to master an entire year's worth of law you did in law school. So that, and then when May comes, if I don't screw up, I'll graduate. And then the bar exam is the last weekend of July. And then if I don't screw that up, then I'll be done.
Summer of fun.
Oh, it's
Summer of fun.
summer
Absolutely.
fun for Pat. Yeah.
It's better than Summer of Sam.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah. Pat did not get that reference.
no, I didn't.
It's okay. We'll tell you later.
I don't think Dan got that reference.
No, I
hope.
I did get the reference. But can I just say,
Oh gosh, this is awesome.
looking around at everybody's cigar,
What's awesome?
The pairings.
Oh,
the
oh,
beer is
sorry.
so good.
The
Finish
pairing,
mine.
the pairing has been great. The cigars are all burning fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm looking around. Everybody's cigar is burning really well.
it is.
The taste is great on this. You know, smooth. It's creamy. It's got some nice rich flavor to it, and it just goes along with the beer so well. And what you said about the whole retro thing, my mind is still kind of blown about that. How the beer really does open up your nasal passages and enhance the spice that you get from the cigar.
So are we trying another beer with the cigar, or what are we doing?
I would like to know.
Think we can do that.
I think we should.
Why not?
And then we'll have to, we'll transfer into the pipe tobacco too. I'm saving some of this
Yeah.
for the pipe tobacco too. I want to try.
I will have to get
Yeah, when I was drinking
Levi.
this yesterday, I was thinking of pipe tobacco as well with it because that wasn't, part of the process. But I figured that honestly, if you have like a Virginia Perique blend, I think that would be like an ideal pairing for it, or even like a
Even in English, yeah.
Yeah, like
Vapor
a-
in English. would
or like
go
a
really
Virginia
well with it.
Latakia, because I think the sweetness will, well, I think the spice will bring forward the Perique, but then the sweetness will enhance the Virginias, so they just kind of get like a nice balance together. So obviously, like Dan's palate for pipe tobacco is the one that would judge that, but I think that it would definitely go well with a pipe tobacco. It's not too strong or it's going to overshadow anything from the pipe tobacco, and since it has that clean finish, I think it'll be a good primer for a pipe.
Well, what do you want us to pair next?
I think the natural progression would probably be to move into the barley wine. I think we need some glasses, though.
All right. I can go take care of that.
All right. I'll tell you guys a little bit about the barley wine while Dan's getting us some glasses. So this is our 2024 release. This particular one was aged in bourbon barrels for 21 months. So we've really been extending our barrel aging program, where nothing is at this point younger than 18 months that we're releasing.
Okay.
They used to be, early days we started off kind of 10 months, and then we went 12, and then we're like, you know what, let's just keep pushing this and making sure that we're hitting the actual optimum time to release this stuff.
Yeah.
So this hit just a beautiful flavor profile at 21 months. So then we pull it out, and then with this we added coffee from Interim Coffee Company and some Madagascar vanilla beans,
Whoa.
and let it sit on that. And this guy is clocking in at 11.97%.
You're talking my language, man.
Yeah. So, and again, a barley wine is going to be large, malt forward. So it's basically a super amped up version of something like this that we just had. But again, the notes are going to be more vanilla and coffee.
Interesting.
So if I can
Get to your...
move my shoulder.
Trying to insult me there? Like, am I too big
No,
here?
no. I'm just, tight
I
corner.
have a bottle opener.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm destroying that lid, and the wax is keeping me from opening this. There we go. I
Oh,
got it.
never
For
mind.
the next one.
Levi, my boy.
Levi's here to save the day.
Levi. I do need another
Thanks, sir.
glass of the lounge cruiser. If you'd be so kind. Thank you, sir.
Right.
I got 2 glasses, and I'm very happy.
Tilt that for
Here
me, Dan.
we go. Oh, look at that. It says 603 on it and everything.
Look at that, huh?
Oh, yeah, we did it right.
Quality branding.
Mine doesn't say Corona. All right.
Tilt.
Oh, tilt.
Come on, it's our first day.
I don't know.
Jesus.
I don't know if I'm usually more of a bourbon or whiskey or scotch drinker, so I just pour.
Look at that color. Look at that.
So yeah, you got that.
That's
Those
beautiful
deep,
amber.
rich amber
that.
colors.
What do we got on the nose?
You
What do
can
we got on the
bring that
nose?
to the nose. Yep.
I get like apple cider on the
Yeah.
I get a lot of dried fruit.
Get some plum.
Yep, a little bit of plum.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Oh, wow.
And again, so different.
Yeah. Yeah, you get a lot more fruit characteristics on there.
Definitely.
Coffee's just in the background, and the vanilla's just in the background.
Oh, wow.
So I got to meet the CEO of 603 when I was over there
Oh, you
brewing.
did?
Isn't he sitting right here?
The mascot of the Mitts.
No,
Oh,
the mitts herself.
the kitty cat?
Yeah, the mitts
Oh.
herself.
Yeah, the cat executive
was
officer.
there for the
of
brew day.
603.
Yep.
Now, is the cat, like, officially, like, part of the building, or you
She
take her home?
She is
or?
literally on the organizational chart as the CEO.
I had to get I had to get the cat's permission to brew the beer.
It's true. Yeah, she had to approve of Pat prior to brewing.
Now, how'd you do that, Pat? I want to know, how did you persuade that cat to make the brew?
It was an interesting process.
Been sitting on that one for years. Moment to strike.
That was good.
It was perfect.
Oh.
Sounds like an interesting tale.
Oh. You just told him, no, I want to do it right, meow.
Oh,
I pulled that one out of Super Troopers there. Pat's like, why am I here?
Well, fortunately, the cat has a soft spot for chicken CBD treats. So
The cat's out of the bag.
yeah, cat's out of the bag. There we go.
Oh my! So tell us a little bit about the barley wine here.
Yeah. So, like I said, this was aged in bourbon barrels for 21 months. Then it sat on some coffee beans and some vanilla, and it's doesn't hit you like it's 12%, but it's 12%.
12%.
Yep. Yep. And
That's a lot more than 7.24.
yeah.
A little bit more, yes. That is very interesting. That is very...
So a little more, not as complex as the Lounge Cruiser.
Right.
You know, which is what makes Lounge Cruiser so interesting. That you
Yeah.
get a beer half the alcohol percentage, but almost double the kind of complexity
it's
of
a flavor bomb.
flavor profiles in it. So this is more of one you could kind of sip down and crank down a little faster as you're pulling the cigar.
I mean, man, you get that right in the back of the palate. You get that sweet, almost apple cider
Yeah.
plum there,
Yep.
little vanilla in there.
Yep.
That is very, very pleasant. This is like a good summer
As soon as
drink.
I get
too.
the vanilla right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, vanilla's right there, and then it kind of fades
Yeah.
off to some fruit.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
nice.
And then a touch of coffee right at the end.
It's like a
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
It's like you knew.
I know.
It's like you're professional or something.
Yeah. You work there?
Only on the weekends.
Nick is an official high ABV beer tester for us now.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh God.
Now, what do you think about the barley wine and the 724? Is it as good a pairing? Is it a different pairing, but just as good? What kind of things does it change about the cigar?
I think it is a good pairing, but not as good. Like
Yeah.
that pairing was something that's just like echelon higher level.
It was-
And, I'm just
yeah.
not even going to try to compare it to it because
Right.
that's a cigar beer. Like Pat, you did a great job.
Yeah,
Dan.
for sure. Oh,
Bravo, Pat.
Yeah.
It wasn't
That
just
was-
me. I didn't know how to brew beer.
No, but I mean, you guided us through that process so well, and you were able to really communicate. The most honestly, for me, the most interesting part of that process was watching Pat talk flavor and sensory profiles to Doug and Kenny,
Yeah.
and Doug and Kenny teaching Pat how to pull the different flavors out of the different beers that we were sampling and how to target that stuff.
Nice.
So watching them kind of teach each other on it was really neat because I know Pat's got a very good palate and sensory, and then Doug and Kenny on the other side, they have also amazing palates because it's what they do all day. You're looking for nuance and all these different flavors and things like that. So watching those guys work together was that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet.
That was a lot of fun. So yeah, as much as normally the barley wine's like my favorite thing to pair, but right now I think Lounge Cruiser's blowing it out of the water, frankly.
Sounds like you had the best job. You were just like,
Yeah. I just sat in the middle. I was like, "What do you think? Give me another." Now, what do you think?
No, I gotta have another. I
gotta get it.
just can't get it.
I need another cigar. I need
Yep.
another beer.
Yep.
It was-
Then an hour in, we weren't even speaking English.
Yeah,
Well, I'm there. Yes.
we did learn how many beers Pat could have before he can go to work. So
Or
that became a bit of a tale. So
15.
what did you do to him? I'm like, we were just doing R&D.
That's it, man.
Well, when Pat's on the podcast, he's barely sipping, whatever drink we had. We'd finish the night and he'd still have most of his drink left. So for him to go and down 4 beers at once in a few hours and then come back.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
we went through
pretty-
10 or 12 different styles. Yeah, you dog. So it was
It was work.
yeah,
It was
work. Yeah, it was
Had to
You
be
suffered through it. Yes.
Had to be
it was a
done.
lot.
I'm so sorry. I'll pray for you, Pat.
I was in heaven,
need-
just
yeah.
drinking
I bet.
beers and smoking cigars
Oh,
all day.
yeah.
We could
We could do
R&D
R&D all
this all
day.
day long.
I think the point that I realized it was bad was I think you brought another tray of 4 flights out and you said you're probably not going to tell the difference, but here's 4 more. And I'm like,
Okay. Tell the difference. I can't even see the glasses.
There's 8. Why are you? What do you mean 4?
Yeah, yeah.
Seems like I'm able to hold 2 at once. This is amazing.
Sometimes I forget that most people aren't accustomed to drinking 16 different beers, and yeah, at a sitting. But
it was good. We had some chicken, too. It was all the time.
yeah, we got some food in the boy.
Gotta get some food. So, Dan, what do you think about this pairing now? Like what do you think about it?
I agree with Dave. It's a good pairing.
It is.
It's a solid pairing. The fruitiness in the barley wine brings out some extra stuff in this and plays with the Modafina
Yeah.
and the San Andreas, which is naturally sweet and kind of chocolatey.
Yeah.
Those flavors really go together, and it's almost like it adds this really kind of dark stewed fruity component to the cigar.
Yeah.
It, and I know people are going to laugh, but it tastes more like pipe tobacco.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say it tastes like I just smoked a bowl of Virginia, like some Carolina Red Flake or something
Yeah,
like that.
I know, and I know
That's a good
Kurt
point.
would be like, "Oh, please drink something else," but but it's good. It's very, very good. I like it. I like it very
It just
much.
adds more sweetness to the cigar.
Yeah,
It
adds a lot of-
amplifies. It amplifies that
Yes,
that
the cigar
sweetness.
tastes different now, right?
Oh,
with the
100%.
barley wine.
very different.
right?
100%.
Totally different.
Yeah, I definitely got more flavors out of
Before-
the cigar with the other beer.
Yes. Yeah.
Like that was more like cocoa, and you got the pepper, and you got there was some
Oh, yeah.
sweetness, but it was
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean. Excuse me. You okay over there?
I'm all right. Do we
Pat's gonna
want
give you
to?
the Heimlich?
I want to kind of give the cigar its 3 beers, but I want to, make sure we don't go on for 3 hours either. So,
All right,
we want to
let's-
do the mitts?
yeah.
Let's do the mitts.
Do the mitts now? Okay.
Yep.
On to the mitts.
On to the mitts.
Well, don't finish it.
So tell us.
No, you can't have any with the pipe tobacco.
I mean, he has
You
2
have a
more
whole nother
bottles.
We were trying not to open them.
You blew it.
Get out of here. What do you mean?
What,
Look, I
one for
got.
the team. What happened to that?
You're freaking
You're
lush.
fired.
I'm not a lush.
Yeah, well, what?
I
you
just.
just drink everything.
I have.
I'm not
I
allowed.
have a hobby. That's what it is. It's a hobby.
Being crunk is not a hobby.
You should see me on the weekends, bro.
Tilt.
Oh, tilt.
Tilt.
My bad. You
Yeah.
should see me on the weekends.
In Nick's vision, currently, he thought he was tilting it.
That's true.
Thank you, sir.
I can't lie there.
Aren't we in Joker's lair?
All right, so this is our annual Mitts release. This particular variant is our Russian Imperial Stout.
Oh, it smells
11.9%, aged in
11.9.
bourbon barrels for 18 months, and then it got to sit on cocoa nibs and freshly roasted coconut.
Cocoa nibs.
So the aroma of this reminds me of I go to Martha's Vineyard once a year for vacation. And there's a
Martha's
place
Vineyard.
called Murdoch's Fudge. It's like a fudge shop, fresh fudge is cooked there every day. And this is the exact scent when you walk in. Just freshly baked warm fudge and coconut.
So Rod wants
Yeah.
to know if the cat declared that the barley wine perfect.
Ooh, I think I think the cat declared the Mitts typically is the perfect. That is the beer. That's her namesake. Mitzi is the name of the cat, and the Mitts is the name of the Russian Imperial Stout series that we released for her.
Oh, God, that's so good.
I am a Russian Imperial Stout fan.
Yeah, now this is
So
like
I'm
drinking
not surprised. That
alcoholic chocolate syrup.
Yeah,
right?
Jesus.
Oh my
Couldn't
God!
have said it any better
Yeah,
myself,
it's
man.
big,
Whoa.
rich mouthfeel.
I want this on my pancakes.
Yeah, you got chocolate
anything
and
that
coffee
has
and-
San Andreas in it is going to pair well with,
With
that.
the right.
And this does have the San Andreas in the as the binder, so it is
Oh
a
my
great
God.
pairing.
Yeah,
with
this will,
Chocolate bomb.
this will hold up to your biggest cigars. Your
Oh,
Los Maduro,
dude.
yeah, everything.
I love the
holds up
Lounge
real
Cruiser,
well.
but Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. This is
Yeah, it's something else.
When
this is
I
on
want to.
another
I want to
level,
try.
bro.
I want to try a Perdomo 30th Maduro with this.
Oh,
my
that would
God.
be amazing.
when we started doing the beer, like my bias in the beginning of it was having Dan let me do something with the mitts, but
Don't touch the mitts.
the cat didn't approve.
Don't touch the mitts.
I couldn't touch the mitts.
Couldn't touch the mitts.
Don't screw with the mitts.
yeah.
Jesus.
So we
This
did
is-
we did 3 or 4 variants this year, but this is the Mitz Moa.
The what?
Moa.
Mitz Moa, which
Mitz
is
Moa.
a play on the Samoa Girl Scout cookie with
Not
the,
to be confused with
with
Jason
the,
Momoa.
with the chocolate and the coconut.
That's what he. I thought. I honestly thought that's what he was going with.
Yeah, no,
Jason Momoa.
This is
Mitz Moa.
Aquaman's beer.
I mean, I could. He's a big Guinness guy. I could picture him drinking
Yeah,
this.
you
I
got
just
a
saw.
guy-
I just saw a thing with him, and he was like talking about how he got the job for Aquaman, and he thought he went in to actually be Batman,
Yes,
and
I saw
they,
that interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
and they and then they called him back, and they said he thought he was going to be what's that? The other bad guy's name, friggin'
Lobo.
Lobo, and they're like, no, we want you to be Aquaman, and he was like,
Seriously?
Yeah.
he's useless. Like that was his instinctual reaction. It's kind of
He
funny.
talks to fish.
What's your superpower? I can telepathically communicate with ocean animals. You talk to fish.
I love that
I can
series.
see in the
Oh,
dark.
I love that
So you can
series.
talk to the fish. I have super hearing, so you can hear the fish.
That's
Can you swim? How fast can you swim? Like faster than a slow boat.
here's my trident. How many dents you got on that?
That skit is awesome. I watched all the skits of that.
Yeah, yeah.
They went through and fired like Aquaman. They did Wonder Woman. He even did one of himself.
Mm-hmm.
He
Oh
fired
yeah.
Batman.
Wait, he did the other Batman.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see any of those.
So the
Oh,
dual
he has
one,
like
right?
6 or 7 of them. It's
Talking-
awesome.
Your voice is so soft. It's new age.
Because he was firing the Robert Pattinson
Yeah,
character,
yeah,
Batman. Yeah. Oh god.
And then the one with him and Bane
Oh.
gets stabbed.
Oh,
Goes
my
on with all the
God.
jokes. That was just awesome.
Oh my god. I was gonna go into it.
I know
but
we can't go into it. Too graphic.
we can't.
That was
Okay.
beautiful.
Yep, yep. Those are good. Those are good shorts. You look them up on YouTube there.
Pat, I'm going to say ultimately, though, you nailed it. This is like literally eating fudge, drinking fudge, and smoking a cigar.
This is crazy.
Excellent, excellent stuff.
Oh my god. I mean, with this cigar and this drink, don't get me wrong, the
This is
Lounge
dessert.
Cruiser. This is dessert.
Lounge Cruiser's dinner.
Yes,
This is
this is
dessert.
I can still taste the spice, though.
Still sitting in the back.
Still,
of his
still,
palate.
yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
It's
It's
lingering.
there.
It's lingering,
Which is
but
fine.
it's nice.
I'm fine with that. But it's just that I'm really happy with
It just
that.
makes a cigar so chocolatey,
Yeah.
and that's there with the San
Yeah.
Andreas. It's funny how I think the Lounge Cruiser kind of picked up on the earthiness of the cigar and the spice of the cigar. The barley wine brought out the sweetness of the Matafina, and this is really bringing forward the binder, the San Andreas. It's just really cool how what you drink
Yeah.
has a huge effect on how you experience and enjoy the cigar,
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
Now, has the cigar impacted any of these beers for you, Dan? Has it added things or taken away things or
I
impacted them in any positive or negative way?
I think the cigar keeps the mitts, honestly, from being too sweet for my palate because I'm not a huge on the sweet side. I
get
usually
that.
prefer savory more.
I get that.
So for me, like I would prefer to have a cigar while drinking something like the mitts because it keeps it helps tamp the sweetness down a little bit for me.
Yeah.
But I would again, I keep going back to Lounge Cruiser where I think they brought the most of each other out.
Yeah.
You know, the
I mean,
smoke-
as
the
far
smoke
as-
and
What did the
drink.
cigar bring out of the Lounge Cruiser for you?
I feel like the spice and the heat really stepped up. Because I had the Lounge Cruiser prior, but I had not done it with a cigar because I wanted to do it on the show with you guys tonight. And I didn't feel as much of that heat presence, but like Dave said, I still have it sitting in the back of my palate. And I feel like the cigar is kind of helping keep it there.
Yeah, right. It's just
Just like, hey, just a reminder. It's
knocking
still,
that spice door. It's
still
just beautiful.
Still sitting there. Because there's nothing that's going to provide, nothing in the mitts or the barley wine that's going to give you that. But it's still sitting back there in the palate, which is pretty neat.
All right. Well, fantastic. Let's switch gears now. And
we need like a transformer button.
let's look at the pipe tobacco that we are going to be smoking. And hopefully, I don't know about Nick, but we've got, most of us still have some of each beer.
I mean, I can get a refill.
So we can do this here.
One of them.
So what we're doing tonight, this was kind of a collaboration between Twins 724 and 603. Two Friends is a longtime brand of tobacco that has been put out by Cornell and Deal that was done in collaboration with GLPs. And Greg Pease and Jeremy Reeves kind of went over all the old recipes and kind of refreshed them all.
Okay.
Didn't change what things were, but they changed the primings, they tweaked them a little bit. So everything's freshened up. And along with that, and new tin art and everything like that, came a new blend, which we are lighting up tonight. Homeward Bound. It came out last week.
Oh boy.
And here's what it says on the tin. Two Friends Homeward Bound is a bespoke aromatic blend that combines Black Cavendish, heirloom Burleys, naturally sweet Brights, and tangy red Virginias for a delightfully complex smoking experience, offering notes of dark stone fruits, candied tree nuts, and subtle hints of liquor. Homeward Bound's nostalgic old-school tobacco flavor is sure to make it a favorite among enthusiasts of sophisticated aromatic blends. Here in a 2-ounce tin. So Greg Pease and Jeremy Reeves did this. Jeremy Reeves did all of our 724 blends.
Yes.
The guy's a genius. I'm a big GLP's fan.
Yeah.
I've been smoking his stuff since it came out around 2000. He's been involved in everything else. Well, not everything, but probably most of it, And I have not seen very many things that he's done that are aromatic. So this is kind of a new thing for me. And first off, I'd love to know what you guys think of the blend itself, and then we can go and try all three beers and talk about whatever we want, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had a little bit of this earlier in one of my Savinellis, and what did I have? I had my Tiger Pipe. And my Tiger Pipe is a wide bowl. So I got more, and I was telling Danny that when I smoked it, it was like smoking a brownie. Not a wheat brownie, but a brownie. I wanted to be clear.
You're not that good.
I wanted to be clear. But it was like having like a burnt brownie because you got like that crazy deep chocolate.
It's a great descriptor.
Yeah. And I got that right at the end. It was like that charry, like you get like the corner of the brownie, the crust, and you got then you got like, you know what I mean?
That's so true.
And that's what I got from it. And I was like, wow. I was like, all right, well, that's really pleasant. And then you said it was an aromatic, and I was like, oh, Jesus, this doesn't really taste like an aromatic. It's like just that's the regular flavor of it, and it's pretty damn beautiful, if you ask me.
What do you think, Dave?
I'm still trying to put together on this, man. It's weird. It does not taste like an aromatic to me.
No.
I'm digging it.
You digging it?
Yeah.
What do you like about it, Dan?
I feel it's not overpowering at all.
No.
It doesn't have that almost false sweetness you get
Yeah,
out of an
yeah.
aromatic.
Aromatic taste.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh.
And I think the brownie
It's like sugar-free or something.
comparison is probably the perfect comparison.
It's like right at the end. It's like that almost well-done brownie that you left in there for
I can't get
5,
any of that.
5-10 minutes too long.
I can't get any of that.
You know what you do?
Totally.
When I'm pulling on this, it's just bringing out that spice from the lounge beer.
I think what'll be really interesting, like I wouldn't pair the barley wine with this, but I would pair the Lounge Cruiser first,
Yeah,
and
the
the
Mitz
spices,
Moa.
and then the Mitz Moa afterwards to see if you can really pull
Yeah.
that brownie out at the end.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. I had a sip right before I started smoking.
there you
this,
go.
and I was like, yes, yes. I couldn't help myself. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Couldn't
well,
help
it's like your
myself.
fourth glass of beer.
Why are you counting?
Someone has.
I mean,
Someone had
cares?
Why?
Yeah.
Who's counting? Who cares?
Uber.
No.
Is that who you're calling? You do
No.
Uber? No.
I gotta say, I like the artwork on the tin as well.
Very Ed Hardy.
American, was that what do they call it? American tattoo style, American art.
Yeah. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think the Lounge Cruiser, again, those spices there brings out a lot of flavor in this, and that
Right, we're on a show.
that brownie corner thing that you're talking about. I don't
Yeah.
want to say like burnt brownie,
Like a
'cause
well
that's not
done
what
brownie.
but it's that corner where you know
Yeah,
it's a little
it's
bit
a little
harder.
yeah, it's a little hotter.
It totally makes that.
I get that now. I'm feeling it.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it's very bready, very cocoa. But again, like you're saying, there is not this, and it's one of the reasons that I don't enjoy a lot of aromatic tobacco is because there is that kind of artificial sweet. There's some waxy kind of
Yeah.
experience on my palate that I just don't like. This does not have that at all.
No. They're very subtle. Kind of plays like a non-aromatic. It's masquerading as a non-aromatic.
It's
Adds an aromatic.
it's real interesting how they pull it off. I don't like artificial sweet flavors and
I
any-
agree. I totally
in
agree.
drinks or anything like it. It really turns me off. But like this has a touch of a sweetness to it, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
seem,
exactly.
false
It's
at
like
all.
more sweet. If you're wanting something a little bit more on the sweet side,
It's like the same level as like a Virginia sweet, but instead it's like
But it's got a savory and a little spice
Yeah.
to it.
yeah.
Smooth.
All right. I'm gonna let's see. That's the mints. I'm gonna try it with the barley wine and see what happens.
oh yeah.
I'm doing the smoke glass thing just
Uh-oh.
for you.
Here we go.
The barley wine is not actually that bad with it.
Yeah?
My expectations were really low after Dan said this would probably not go well.
So then
But
you
it's
smoke the glass. What do you
not
think?
bad.
Even better.
No.
I'm just digging the hell out of that beer.
That beer is
Good
good.
job, Pat. Keep going back to it. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right meow.
Dan,
Oh.
Dan, I think you're right. That actually dulls some of the fruitiness of that barley wine.
Yeah, it dulls some of it out, and it almost adds a little bit of that brownie flavor to the barley wine, doesn't it? There's more of a bready note to it.
Absolutely.
I didn't see that coming. That's pretty
Right?
cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely does.
Yeah.
You'd never know. You'd never know. All right.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
All right. Well, now we've got to do it. I'm trying the mitts.
Yep.
Here we go.
That.
That's what I was waiting for.
Here we go. Here we go.
This is going to be chocolate heaven right here.
We'll draw that.
Oh yeah. There it is. Brownie time.
Brownie Town. Was that-
I can't get over that taste of that mitts, man. That thing is amazing.
Yeah, sure.
Wow,
enough. That's,
that
that's
actually-
like a chocolate explosion there.
Oh, God.
I think it totally changes from that kind of
It's like having
dark-
lava
that
cake
dark-
at Uno's.
that dark bready brownie with those kind of really dark cocoa kind of
Oh,
flavors.
God.
Now it's sweet. Now it's creamy. Now
Yeah.
it's like you're saying, this is something.
Wouldn't it be cool if you could go out to eat and then they offered
And
something
have a
like
smoke?
this
Imagine
for
that.
like a dessert?
Yeah.
You know, so here's your dessert.
You got a snifter of that. You got a
Yeah,
little,
right?
a little.
I
small
mean,
one.
God.
let's rewind it to back to 1970s, and you'll be able to do that
Right.
at the table.
Man, that's good.
Well, even the 80s, even the 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
And
This
I
is like a rich chocolate mousse now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said,
chocolate-
it's
chocolate
like the
mousse.
lava cake that you get at Uno's. You split it, and it's like, ooh. Come on, Pat, laugh. Jesus, smile, damn it, smile. Show some love. Jesus, I'm working really hard over here to make you laugh.
Made a sound effect and everything.
I know, man. Jesus.
I'm sorry, I just don't get that reference.
Oh, Snickers.
So I am a big spirits and bourbon guy, and I often have that while I'm smoking cigars and whatnot. But I will say that I think this pairs so well with these beers, though.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that it didn't matter to me. It doesn't matter which pairing; they're all really good with this pipe tobacco.
Just steers you in a
Yeah.
different direction, each one of them.
That's really, really fun.
Everything is so different, dramatically. I mean,
gotta
with
go back to
everything.
lunch, please.
Levi, my boy, do you have your pipe with you today? I think you should retrieve it.
Oh man! Wow.
It is really wild how each of these beers brings something completely different to the table. I mean, even with the cigar, but to me, it's more evident with the pipe tobacco.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you agree?
it's very vibrant. Very
You know,
vibrant.
Every
It's
beer
definitely more of a
makes it
drastic change.
completely different.
Oh,
I mean, the cigar kind of went. It angled this way. It angled this way. This is like,
Yeah,
you know,
total
let's look at a
180.
whole different side of things.
Oh yeah.
It's too bad you don't know what we're talking about.
Pat, I got a pipe you can use.
I'm all set.
Have a
That's
look.
what she said.
Hey, now. Yeah.
Dave on the board.
I see, Dan, you have yourself a moonshine cannonball there, my friend.
Yes, I'm a big fan.
That is such a pretty pipe.
Yeah.
I got the short fuse cannonball.
Yeah, that is also
moonshine
pretty nice,
cannonball.
too. That is.
Thank you.
Moonshine and Briarworks.
You're
make
welcome, that's
Great
right.
pipes.
Yeah.
Make
Dan,
great
what's our
pipes.
next pipe event?
Oh, much
The
nice.
Time
next-
to add to the collection.
The next pipe event is going to be March 9th.
Great segue,
Saturday,
Dan.
March
I love
9th,
it.
Yep. And that is the PD Blinders annual Peterson event. And it's going to be a fantastic time. It's going to take place right here in the lounge. And
Oh, cool.
$30 is going to get you. We're going to
Only
have
30?
$30. You're gonna get food. You're gonna join the PD Blinders. You get food. There's gonna be a charcuterie board. You know, kind of snacky food.
Charcuterie board?
Everybody
God bless you.
is going to get a full pour of Jameson Black Barrel.
Whoa.
Everybody will have the opportunity to, do tastings with Redbreast 12-year Irish whiskey. And then along with that, you're also going to get Peterson swag, Jameson swag, Redbreast. I mean, you're going to end up leaving with $50 or $60 worth of experience between the swag, the drink, the food, and all that stuff.
If you've never been experienced.
And then
will change
it's also going to, the people who join the PD Blinders with that $30 are also going to get some exclusive discounts on Peterson pipes. We're going to have about 100 Peterson pipes here. Cool. And we're also making a special announcement that is completely hush-hush. And I'm wicked excited about it. I'm not going to say anything else about it. I want people wondering what the heck it is. But the PD Blinders are making a move, people. And we're going to announce what that is at the event. And you're going to want to be there for that. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. And we dress up too. This is the whole PD Blinders thing. So 1920s kind of stuff. Pat does it better than anybody. Tweed suit, vest, the hat, everything.
He just needs
He's
a gun.
Awesome. He just needs a gun.
How do you know I don't have a gun?
I know you don't have a gun.
We don't
I'll
carry.
give you one of mine.
We don't have guns, but we have pipes. That's what we have in the pockets.
I got a 38 revolver snub nose. I'll get you
Perfect for
one.
that. Perfect for that.
I'll get you one, brother.
Are you a virgin?
Am I a virgin? Did you just ask me if I was a virgin?
I got P38 snub nose.
What's wrong with a 38 snub nose?
What kind of a holster?
Shoulder holster.
Holder. Oh.
Old school.
Right on
That's
the
classic. That's 90s cop movie.
Right under
Bingo,
the
baby.
armpit.
Yep.
Dragnet.
38 snub.
Dragnet.
Ask your father about
shoulder
that.
holster. Yeah.
That's it, baby.
You know what's funny? I
Got the
had,
speed loaders in your pocket and everything.
Oh.
Yeah. Meh.
Yeah, you see? Yeah.
oh my
Is that a
gosh.
speed loader
Just
in
happy
your
to see
pocket?
you,
or you
Levi. Just
happy
happy
to
to
see
see
me?
you.
But that is our biggest Peterson
Yes,
event
don't
of
call
the
me
year.
Shirley.
It's going to be fantastic. You want to be here for that. 12 to 4, right here at 724 Lounge, March 9th. And then we've got the 724 event going on while we're talking at Twins. And February 29th, it's a Thursday. Kurt will be in the house from 3 to 6 here at the Londonderry location. And from now until the end of that event, which goes from 3 to 6 p.m., you can get.
Excuse me.
Well, that's not what you can get.
You're
goodness.
excused.
If you drink 3 beers, it will.
You buy any 4 724 cigars, you're going to get one free. You're going to get an original Toro free.
Good deal.
You buy a box, you're going to get a 5-pack free. That's like $55 right there.
Correct.
If you're going to buy 2 boxes, you're going to get 2 of those 5-packs, 10 cigars.
$110. There you go.
Yep. Plus
You're welcome.
a 10-count travel humidor.
That's another
to put
30.
them in. There's another $35 right there.
35.
If you do 3 boxes, which is the best deal, you get the 10 cigars.
Yeah, try it.
10 cigars. You get a 30-count travel humidor. That's $75. The cigars, $110, $120, right?
Oh, you're asking me.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were.
The-
I thought that was rhetorical.
You're the retail expert.
Oh,
God damn it.
yeah. He's the manager.
Let's round it.
I forgot I work here.
Round it down. Round it down.
He's a little mixed.
Let's say. Are you talking to me? Oh,
I had no idea.
I didn't
Like,
even
all
know
right,
I
like,
worked here.
I
Marvelous.
was just listening. I didn't
was
know
just
you
looking
wanted me
at
to really
Pat's
answer that
mustache.
question. Sorry.
How we not-
So
Yes.
let's
Yes.
round it. Let's round it down.
I'm just
10
cruising the
cigars.
lounge, mitzing around.
10 cigars, $100. The 30-count travel humidor, $75.
Yes.
So you got $175 of free stuff.
Yes.
And it's more than that, at least.
Yes.
With that, and then you will get to have
Plus tickets.
Tickets.
Then you get to have an experience with a VIP pairing experience with Kurt, which he will be picking from his vault. Special cigars and special spirits that no one else has but Kurt on the face of the planet.
He's got some cool
And you're going to get an hour, hour and a half or
You
2
have
with
no
Kurt
idea,
from
my
6 o'clock to whenever it ends. You will not be able to repeat this experience. It's going to be unreal. And then what these guys are talking about is at the event at 6 o'clock, we're going to be giving away a 724 cigar box
Oh, yeah.
guitar.
That's good.
And you can get tickets to get entered into the raffle for that if you buy 8 singles, which is basically doing the 2 buy 4 get 1 free. So you end up with 10 cigars,
Yeah.
right? That gets you a ticket.
Yeah.
And then any box of cigars, any box of 724 cigars you buy, you get 5 more tickets. Anytime between now and 6
Including
p.m.
the 10 counts or except the 10 counts?
Well, it's 20-count box. 20-count box. So 2 10-count boxes. You
Just want to
know.
specify.
Yep. And
We got cheap
we're gonna
people
give.
here.
Kurt will be picking the winner for that at 6 o'clock on the 29th, right when the event downstairs closes. And so that's basically what's going on at Twins.
All right, sweet.
You
Do
know,
do we have a flashback today?
and we're not going to bother with a flashback.
I'm curious. What was the flashback?
Well, well, why don't we do it? Okay,
We're in now.
it's not like we're like way over anyway. Who the heck cares?
That's a good one.
Back
All
to the
right,
future.
we-
That was
Back to the
excellent.
future. That was a
Yep.
good one.
Yep, it is time for the 724 flashback. That's time of the week when we talk about a historical event brought to you by 724 Cigars. Smoke a piece of history.
Salud.
And
Absolutely unequaled.
let me open up the computer here. Boom, boom. 24.
Password.
Okay.
You know, Dan.
There we go. Okay, so February 9th, 1950. That was Friday.
Yes, it was.
Okay. In 1950, that was the day that
Yes.
McCarthy.
Who? McCarthy.
Who's McCarthy?
McCarthyism started.
Dithem.
What is McCarthyism?
Dithem.
Okay.
Is that like General McCarthy?
Ism.
No, the Senator McCarthy. What was his first name? I didn't write it down.
Was it Hector?
But he held up a piece of paper,
George.
Oh,
and said,
nobody does
I
that.
have 205
Albert.
names
Definitely
of,
Albert.
of people who are working in the State Department right now who are card-carrying communists, and we need to be concerned about this. And that started this whole McCarthyism, you know.
And then they all moved to
the-
Vermont.
the communism scare.
No, they didn't. They moved to Massachusetts.
The communism scare happened, and everybody went berserk, and it kind of catapulted him into fame as a senator. And you know, all of this conspiracy theory, and are the communists and the Russians coming to take over the
Russians
United
are coming.
States? Are they planning themselves? The reality is, apparently, you know, when you look back, you have 20/20 hindsight, right? There were no names on the page that he held up.
Really?
Like it was blank.
It was a blank piece of paper.
It was a blank piece of paper, and
Sounds
it
like a boss
turned-
move.
Brilliant.
As years went on, it ended up becoming plain that what he
Speak.
was saying was not true at all. He ended up being censured by Congress, and the last 2 years of his term, he basically spent at the bar drinking quite heavily, and passed away 5 years later in 1957.
It's like the werewolf game.
Liver failure.
You ever heard about that?
Yeah.
I did. Yes, I heard about that
The
game.
werewolf game.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
you
that
have-
whole, that whole is a that you know that opens
know what the
up
werewolf
conversation
game
about you know conspiracy theories. And,
well, do you
and
know
what's
the
going
do you
on.
know the werewolf game?
It's
Do I
a
know the
social
weird- no.
experiment.
Yeah, it's a social experiment.
It's a
So you
social
grab
experiment.
you grab like
Of
you know
course, you would know about the
Yeah,
werewolf game, Dave.
you grab like 20 people.
Turns into one.
Yeah, and
You go up on a rooftop and you throw off a bone and see
you
who
separate
jumps at it.
you separate you hand out cards to people, and I mean one of them everybody gets a card, and on it tells them whether they are a regular townsperson or whether they're a werewolf. And but they're not allowed to like obviously share that information. And at the end of the day, the werewolves, you know, get to kill someone. And at the beginning of the day, the townspeople with the werewolves all included have to figure out, you know, who's the werewolf. And so it's a social experiment. And about what was it, like 80 or 70% of the time, or it was higher than that, the werewolves
Yes.
win.
Yes. Because the townsfolk always backstab each other.
Yeah.
So that's what happens. So I forgot the whole thing, and I watched a couple of YouTube videos on it, and it's pretty much a social experiment to show that if you put a group of people together, that no matter what the outcome is, they'll always go against each other.
It's
People
kind
are
of
generally
like the
terrible.
witches,
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
like the witches and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, that person blew smoke out of their nose. They're a witch. You know, that was a real thing.
People are generally untrustworthy and awful.
Bingo.
It's a hell of a game, boys.
Bingo.
They
Yeah.
call it
We
Lord
should
of the
play it on the
Flies.
show.
That's what that whole
Lord of the
book is.
Flies. There you
Yeah.
go.
Same thing.
Putting my money on Pat as the werewolf.
Oh, I
It's
I
the
call
mustache.
that.
It's the mustache.
I call you, sir.
Do you have a favorite beer with the pipe tobacco? The favorite beer with the cigar was the Lounge Cruiser.
Oh, I think it's
We have
obvious.
Mitts.
Yeah,
Mitts.
yeah.
Mitts?
I'm still going Lounge Cruiser. I really like. I feel like the Lounge Cruiser, as much as the Mitts was a wicked dessert with this,
Yeah, it was great.
I still love how many different flavors were coming out of the tobacco with the Lounge Cruiser.
Well,
I agree.
if I was going to specify as far as like the change or like the amount of character that goes with it, I would agree with you. But for me, for my palate, I feel like I have like a bit of a sweet tooth.
Yeah, then that's
So
I
the
definitely
Mitts
see
is
that
just
then.
like that's just hitting home with me. But if I was to like be like if I was going to pick one for like the populace, I'd probably go with
the popular. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, yeah.
What are you running for Senate?
no.
Dave likes to please everybody.
Thank God.
It's just
I got 200 names of this.
He's
I got 200 beers.
he's only got his name on it.
Who was that? Was McCarthy? Is that what you said, Dan?
Yeah.
So he was like the original George Santos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't that the whole McCarthyism? Didn't that unleash J. Edgar Hoover to unleash like all these investigations on like everybody at that point?
all that, and so if you were liberal in any way, shape, or form,
He
you
phone
were
tapped
you were
everybody.
totally under suspicion.
You know what? You know what the funny thing is I really just found this out.
Did you?
And this blew me away. Do you know what liberal means, like the actual definition of the word liberal?
No, but I bet you're gonna tell us.
Yeah. It means
bubblegum.
that you tolerate different ideas.
That's the definition of it.
Yeah.
It's not a bad.
Yeah.
It's not really that bad.
Good
And I'm like,
concept.
and I'm like, so that means,
Too bad they don't run with that.
If me and you disagree and we have two different beliefs, and I say, you know what, but that's cool. Let's have a beer.
I thought that
means
was
we
more-
were very
Sounds like a hell of a
liberal.
platform.
And I'm
Oh,
like,
shit, yeah.
I'm like, that is not what I've grown up to believe as a liberal, like
Yeah.
at all. And I'm like, do
I
liberals
thought-
know that?
That sounds more like a conservative.
And I
than it is
learned about it from a comedian who says he thought he was a liberal his whole life, and then realized he wasn't.
You know, you watch too much Bill Maher.
No, I don't. I don't like Bill Maher at all. But I'm actually Bill Maher lately has been getting closer to the right side.
Well, he got red pilled, so
Yeah,
He got red
he he talked about it. He totally said he was going to get.
he got red
canceled.
pilled.
Yeah.
He had that show where they smoke weed and everything on his own little podcast. Yeah, he got red pilled big time.
Yep.
He got red pilled.
Yeah.
That's why he switched sides.
Well, Dan, thank you so much for being with us tonight, for bringing all these beers.
No problem. My pleasure.
This was great.
I bet it was.
It's been way too long since we've had you on.
Definitely.
Month.
It's got to be like close to like a quarter of a year, half a year
At least, yeah.
Gotta-
It's probably last quarter I was here. So we'll Pat and I will get going on the next iteration
Oh yeah.
of the smoking pear beer, and we'll I'll see you boys when that one's ready. To
I think
go.
I should be involved as like the placebo.
No.
Maybe we can we can come by the Hicks shop and we can do an R&D there.
Absolutely. I'll meet you guys there.
Thanks for taking time out of your studies to be on the show and talk about how you were a part of this and everything.
Yes, absolutely.
You did a great
Having
job.
me. The
You did a
driving
great
force,
job.
Pat. The driving force behind the beer.
Thank you both for making such
drunken
a great the drunken force. May the force be with you,
It's a new band.
And also with you.
and also with you.
This is the way
This is the
This
way.
is the way.
to end the show.
And that's not just blowing smoke.
Smoky, everyone.
You've been listening to Not Just Blowing Smoke, the podcast that brings the wealth of knowledge, expertise, and fun of Twins Smoke Shop, New England's premier smoke shop, right to you, wherever you are, whenever you want it. You can find us at our website, notjustblowingsmoke.com, and keep in touch with us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at Not Just Blowing Smoke. Thanks for listening, everybody, and that is Not Just Blowing Smoke.
Rolling with the top down, smoking on a fat cigar.